seems to me there's something extraordinary going on in Barrie, Ontario. No one seems to know exactly what I'm on.
Here we are with another one. Team Bayfield support the scene. This time we have Judgement with us. Welcome.
What's up, guys?
This is like a super exciting time for you because you have your debut EP coming out. So we have Define Alive dropping on June 29th at midnight. And you already have 2 music videos, which include Terra Firma, which won Best Canadian Independent Metal Video for 2021. And that's crazy because you're a relatively new band. So what is it about Judgement that is drawing this kind of attention?
I think a lot of it has to do with like our message behind it, the lyrics, bringing back this like sort of nostalgic sound of like the early 2000s post-hardcore era, emo era, which is kind of like resurfacing now. Yeah, but I think most of it has to do with our message of just kind of just living your life how you want to, and I feel like a lot more people these days are starting to kind of live like that. So I don't know if you guys want to touch on anything else.
Yeah, I was gonna say we're also just thankful. We did have a previous project kind of, so we were circulating a little bit beforehand before turning into Judgement, and we're happy to have a community that we can play in and have some people come out and support us all the time as well. So that's like help turn us down, help like get people sharing our music, and we're super thankful for that as well. So
yeah, I think that what makes us different, or like I don't know, maybe like you said, why we are maybe getting so much like heat in a good way is like this is what we want, and like I think from like the content and shit that we put out, people can see that, especially like since we haven't been able to play live and play shows and really show what we're actually about as a band, because that's something that we've always really focused on, as being a very quality live band. But yeah, we appreciate all the support and stuff like that, and I just think it's because we really care about this, and people can feel that when they like listen to our music, our lyrics, and yeah, just see what we're all about, basically.
Yeah. When you're mentioning those like those earlier influences or that early kind of emo, those 2000 sounds, I definitely get like a very strong like early Silverstein, Underoath, like they're only chasing safety sort of like feeling from you guys as well. And in an earlier podcast, you mentioned one of my favorite emo bands growing up. You mentioned Sydney. And it made me go back and re-listen to like the debut. There's a lot of Sydney going on as well.
That's amazing, man.
Yeah.
That's super humbling because I mean, Silverstein and Underoath are, 2 of our, I would say, top 5 favorite bands. And Sydney's a cool one because I think did Sam tell us?
Yeah.
So Sam Goyana, who produced the record out of Room 21 Sound in Toronto, he actually brought them up to us for the first time. And did he why did he bring
we were demoing, it was from the demo of Define Alive. So
right.
We had a demo of the song Define Alive, and he put it on studio, and I guess he was listening to it, and he's like, man, I absolutely love this. Like, it throws me back to like old Sydney. And we're like, who's Sydney? He's like some band from Burlington in the early 2000s. We started like putting on all their records, and Hack, our lead guitarist, who unfortunately couldn't be here, he got super into them, and he kept like kind of bringing them back around to us. And we're like, man, this band's so sick. Like one of those sounds that you hear from the early 2000s, you're like, how weren't they bigger? And then honestly, we've like taken influence from them, although they're like not as well known of a band.
You said previously that Define Alive is an EP about you and listeners as individuals kind of finding what it means to be alive. So for you, what does being alive mean?
I mean, I think maybe I can speak on behalf of us all. And it's also what our band sort of stands for. It's just living your life how you want to live it. Because there's a lot of people out there who are very quick to judge and could sway your path in life just based off of opinion and judgment.
And insecurity.
And insecurity even. It could be any one of those things. But yeah, I think mainly it's just doing what you want to do in life and not stopping till you get there, sort of thing.
Is there a particular song off the EP that if you were trying to introduce yourselves to new listeners, what song should they listen to first?
Oh,
I mean, I feel like every song has its own different message and its own importance, I think, when we were writing it as well. So there could be a different reason for each song individually. For me, I love the power and like how like fierce Terra Firma sounds throughout. There's a lot of like swings to it. Comes in really hard, and it's one of those songs that I think really grabs you, especially with the chorus. Very, very powerful chorus, well written, and then it's just cool as fuck. That song's so much fun to play live.
As a promoter, so you've booked Judgement before and you've seen them live before. What is it about their live show that makes you want to book them?
You guys have always been like such a fun band to see on social media, and you are the exact same band in real life. So like it's, you know, like when it comes to the professionalism that you have in your videos and your like all your media, when it comes to your songs, like you sound the same. Everything is the same. It's not glossy. You know, when a promoter books you, and they see you live, they're hearing the exact same melodies and the exact same, you know, chorus and everything. Like your voices don't sound more whatever, like on your recordings, they sound the exact same on. So that's how I have to say it for you guys.
I kind of went through the comment sections on like the videos that are already on YouTube, and you're getting love from like the Netherlands, from the Philippines, from hometown Oshawa. But I found two comments that I would like you to address and let me know how you feel about them. So verbatim from one of your music videos, okay, not gonna lie, all these guys were totally good, especially the lead singer. Never thought I'd find a decent post-hardcore band with actual sexy band members. Fuck yes.
Yes. Yo, when we saw that, like, yeah, that circulated through our chat like in a second, and yeah, we thought that was
I think
hilarious.
we even shared it on our
Twitter.
IG story or Twitter.
And
or
Twitter,
something.
yeah.
We thought it was hilarious. We loved it.
Yeah, and then it got carried over to
Right.
the other video too. But
Yeah, I believe the follow-up is the beefy screamer is literally sex on legs.
yeah.
I just talked about that.
That's so good.
I recently started a new job, and a couple of the guys there, I showed them our music and stuff, and I guess they both went home and like showed their families and watched the videos, and they said like they both died at that comment right there, because they, I guess, looked through the comments, and yeah, that was hilarious, man.
So that's obviously how some people are reacting to the music videos. And from the music in general, what kind of reaction do you want from people who are experiencing the EP for the first time?
Man.
Yeah, I mean, I hope they like it. Like, I hope that they can hear the work that we've put into it, and the care and the songs that we've written, and I guess like our production care and our message that we're trying to get across.
That's what, like, I kind of did touch on that. I feel like I want someone to listen to it and feel something.
Yeah,
essentially,
man.
like how much work, care, the lyrics, the message we're trying to provide. So like to have anyone to have like an emotional connection to any of our music would be incredible, and we had that, and just to hopefully get it to more ears.
You're a slave,
I also feel like I would like people to almost feel empowered to like do what they want in their life. You know, this album or this EP touches on a lot of subjects that we feel that, you know, not a lot of people talk about, or we feel like need a little more attention. When writing the lyrics, they get pretty personal. Just about, you know, I wrote about a lot of things that, you know, mind kind of runs through, and but I also have the ability to sort of write from other people's perspectives. And you know, with like November, for example, it's a single that you can go listen to right now on any streaming platform. We really sat down with that one, and it's about domestic violence, right? And it's something that I don't think any of us have really gone through. I mean, it depends what you classify as that, but I kind of wrote it almost from a female's perspective, and I had to do a lot of research. And yeah, I don't know. If you guys want to go listen to it and tell us what you think, that would be amazing.
Running from something, chasing the sun just to see.
I personally have never been like in a crazy abusive relationship, but it did like, you know, when it came to like listening to it, like Sophia had listened to it too, and Sophia like got really super emotional about it, and I was like, no one abuses you, and she's like, I know, but like whoever they're talking about is so sad, like, you know, like, so she, I don't know, like she just felt, you know, something towards it, even like, you know, she's like, do people do that in life? And that happens. And yeah, it brought out a whole new like emotional feel for an 11-year-old, that's for sure.
And when you talk about the EP, like you're tackling things like domestic abuse and mental health, and you're actively raising money for the movement. So you said that 10% of your merch sales are going towards the movement. Can you speak a little bit more about what that's about?
So we took on the initiative. That's been about over a year now. So last year we ended up doing about $400, $500 to the Canadian Mental Health Association. And then we've took that into our own like well-being, and we've implemented it into shows, our merch, and anywhere possible, because we just think within our community, within our government system, the mental health situation is completely underfunded. So even as a small band and trying to grow, we think it's important to give back. And it's kind of that thing. It's like, regardless of like how big you are as an artist or as a person, individual, to be able to do that is something that you should, and it can empower others to also want to make that difference, right? So it's something we took into our own account, and something we will continue to do going forward.
When it comes to booking shows again, how are you guys gonna feel? Are you gonna feel that rush of holy crap, we're booking shows, or are you gonna just kind of like tippy toe into it, or are you gonna dive right in?
I personally think we're gonna dive. I mean, as I said earlier, we're a super strong live band. We have a record to tour. We have merch to sell. We have shit to say. And there's people that want to see us live. You know, there's a demand for Judgement, I guess you could say. And once that becomes available and we're able to do that, it'll be probably one of the first things that we hop on, because yeah, it's a huge part of why we play music, make music, write music, and perform ultimately. So we're really stoked.
Thank you again so much for joining us. I'm so excited for the rest of the world to hear Define Alive, the first EP. It's so tight, it's so heavy. And before we say goodbye, are there any local bands that people should be listening to right now?
Another band that's a little bit further away from Hamilton that we're good friends with and have built a relationship, and that's Hot Knives.
Yeah, go listen to Knives.
Yeah, so we're really friends with those guys, and they have music coming out as well, so I'd like to plug them quick. And then other than that,
Yeah, In Case We Crash, they're pretty lit. Who else comes to mind?
Nightwell.
Go listen to
Nightwell's
Nightwell.
great.
Hazel's cool too.
Couple
Hazel.
great bands still kicking it. Rabbit Town still kicking it.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
I can't remember.
I'm a fan of a band called Arm's Length as well. They're from Southern Ontario.
Yeah, they're sweet.
So yeah, we honestly do surprise. Like, we have a very strong community of music within Southern Ontario, and it's not something that we always get recognition for. So.
A nice Crisis record.
I know, I was gonna call that out
Yes.
too. Yeah, oh, it's so far.
No
Awesome.
problem.
Thank you again so much for joining us. For everybody that's watching, go check out Define Alive when it comes out June 29th at midnight. You can pre-order, pre-save it right now. Go pick up some merch, which has just dropped in price, and 10% goes to a bunch of good causes. Follow Judgement, all of their, ad info will be at the end of the episode. Thank you again so much for joining us.
Thank you for having us, guys.
Thanks, guys.